Nisi here with Pear Medium. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I had a recent name change from Pear Tarot to Pear Medium. I'll get into that a little bit later, but thank you so much for tuning in. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And welcome. All right. It's a new moon, y'all. We are in a new moon energy and a lot of things have been bubbling. There's a message that my family is telling me I need to share with the folks, with the people them. And so I am here. Before we get started though, I would like to let you know that as stated in my intro, I recently changed my name. I no longer go by Pear Tarot, I go by Pear Medium. Through my spiritual journey and, just development in hoodoo and in my divination and my gifts, and with my relationship with my ancestors and my people. I have shifted into just deeper knowledge and a deeper spiritual journey. So as I navigate that, as I expand, as I also restrict, as I move through this path that I am on, I'm hoping to just be a guide and help where I'm supposed to help. So I'm here to do some work. I'm here to assist where I can and live a good life, live a well life. So, but while I'm here, I got some work to do, and it's to talk to y'all and pass along these messages from the dead folk. So with that, my name is now Pear Medium. I would like to let you know my books are now open. So if you go on my website, wildpeartarot.com, I have just a little bit more insight into me, more background into me. I still have my blog up. I still have my gallery of old videos. Recognize I don't do celeb readings anymore. That is done. That phase of my development is over and done. I am not with the celebrity readings. So if that's what you were on this page to ask of me, you need to go on somewhere else, because that's not what we're here for. Not at this time. The energy is not calling for that. So, but thank you to everyone who has continued to support me, even through all my breaks, even through all my shifts. I'm so appreciative. If you would like to send some donations, if you would like to further support me and support my work, child, the Cash App and the Venmo and the PayPal is in the description below. So please, there are other ways to support me and my work. Not even just getting a divination, child. You can send me a couple of dollars. All of those things are going to help as I continue to develop my channel and my work. All right, we're gonna get started with this new moon message. I have a set of cards here, and as you can see, some other pieces that have decided to show up to offer support as well. There's some messages that are coming through, and I want us to sit with this from this new moon until the next, as we are living our lives, right? Okay. So we're going to start with these two cards. This is the energy that's coming forth. Spirit wants me to focus on these two cards right now. So we have the Knight of Cups in the reverse. The Knight of Cups in the reverse. I'm going to show it up right. The Knight of Cups in the reverse. Okay. And the Pentacles. The Pentacles in the reverse. So Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. Ooh, so this is a warning about the timeline. This is a warning about the timeline. This is what I am sensing. This is what is coming through. There's been a lot of foolishness around. There's been a lot of foolishness around men and their foolishness, men and their lack of care, their harm. I know a lot of the conversations that have been coming up right now, particularly here in the U.S. This is where I'm based. I'm based in the West, so unfortunately, and I encourage everyone, do everything you can to get off of Western time. I know we're in this Western sphere right now, but that shit is ending, and a lot of the foolishness and the harms that a lot of men have been causing is it's gonna continue. It's gonna continue. Men are gonna try to ramp up their violence in all different facets and ways. So it is a time to be on guard, is what these dead folk are saying. It's time to be on guard for our women folk, our queer folk, our children. It is for us to take up our protection, because these men are going to continue the foolishness. We've seen in the recent just couple of weeks, there's been a lot of stories in the news of women disappearing, of intimate partner violence. I'm not going to go into specifics because I don't remember all of the names, and I apologize. I don't know all of the women that we have seen who have been harmed, but if you're here in the US, you have been seeing it in the news. If you've been watching and been aware of what's been occurring, whether through social media or through reading news articles, you'll know that there's been an increase of visibility around intimate partner violence, around femicide, around and specifically black women being killed by their partners. These men are foolish, they're jealous, they're harmful. And I don't want to hear, I'm not getting into a conversation about not all men. I'm not getting into no discussion or argument about not all men. These men are foolish. These men are foolish. They are shapeshifters. And they've caused harm for quite some time. And peering into the timeline, energetically, it's showing to be an increase of that as exposure continues to happen, as exposure continues to occur, as we start to see more and more of truth coming out about the harms that a lot of men have caused, which they've been for years been protected from, or it's been a lot of silence of those who have been harmed by these men. We're gonna see an increase of exposure. It's just gonna continue. Is going to continue. We're going to see that. It may not be always in the news. It may be in more interpersonal within your own communities, but it's time to ring that bell. It's time to call out these harmful, violent behaviors, these harmful, violent men who have done much damage and much harm, their abuses, their levels of manipulation, of deception, of violence. It's time to ring the alarm, to sound it, to let it reverberate out, and to handle it and what you feel is best justice-wise, for the justice that you seek if you have been directly harmed and impacted. The Muertes are especially upset about the foolishness. They specifically said the foolishness of these men and the harm that they've wreaked over generations. And let me be a little bit more specific because I wrote this down. So specifically, the Muertes are, they are angry, they are upset at the foolishness of a generation for not preparing their sons, their daughters, their young for this. Many of the people watching my channel, we are I know most of the people watching this channel are adults. And the Muertes is looking at the adults. Muertes is looking at the adults and their responsibility to the kids, their responsibility to the children. To the ones continuing the lineage, to the ones continuing the lineage. People and their lack of care and their mischievousness, their macho-ness, their elitism, their anger, their violence. Yes, this part of this is socialization. This is patriarchy. In all of its unfolding in iterations, like this has always been patriarchy and their need for control, their lack of seeing anyone outside of a man, a cis hetero man, being human. And so everyone else is supposed to be under their control, under their thumb. And that's just there's no growth in that. There's nothing that continues the lineage in a way that generates power, that actually heals, that actually multiplies, right? So what we're seeing is not only a lot of physical deaths, but there's also lineages dying as well. Like there's also lineages dying as well because the men are not and haven't done the work, aren't doing the work, and they're trying to pass off the responsibilities that they're supposed to be carrying off by the wayside. And so I'm seeing right now a time where there's gonna be a lot of fights. Like it's not even just, I'm seeing like people are gonna be fighting back physically. People are gonna be fighting back in so many ways against this foolishness, against this harm, against this violence. I just see a lot of, it's gonna continue, but I also see more fights. It's going to, and it's not even just from our women and our queer folk. It is from the kids, the young, the youth. The kids are going to start saying things more loudly. The children are going to start talking more about the harm that they've seen, the harm that they've witnessed, the harm that they've experienced at the hands of the men in their family, the men in their community, the not even just the adults, but also the teenage boys, the college level, the young men, 18, 19, 20, 21, who have been enacting harm as well. There's going to be a wave of more visibility and exposure of men who have been enacting harm. I would very much like to shout out Dr. Brendan Tynes, a powerful orator and author and writer. I'm not sure if she's written any books. Excuse me, Dr. Brendan Tynes, if I have misspoke. But a powerful hoodoo and scholar and writer. And please go check out their work. They have been ringing the alarm, specifically on the focus of Black men, that, you know, Black men need to face their consequences. It's no longer about saving these men and trying to save them from the outcome that is supposed to occur. So please go support her work. Go check out her work. And to I don't know if I'm adding to the conversation, but what's coming through is that there are spiritual agreements. There are spiritual agreements that are breaking spiritual agreements around some of these lineages and the ways in which the men have caused a lot of harm and a lot of violence, and haven't done anything to do their repair work, that haven't done the repair work that some of them were brought here to do. Like, some of y'all reincarnated to do that work, but instead you were supposed to do that work so you could go through these portals, go to the next stage, to heighten and to elevate your lineage. And y'all haven't done it. Y'all got caught up in the matrix. Y'all got caught up in the fucking mix, and the lineage is gonna die off. It's gonna die. It's like, it's dying off now. There's no gonna be no regeneration. There's not gonna be a return. You had your opportunity, you had your chance, and it's not returning. Like, that's what Spirit has to say about it. That's what the dead folk have to say about it. The lineage is gonna stop. It's not, you've been given too many chances. You've been given too many chances and too much opportunity. And because you're not generating anything, is your lineage is done. Your lineage is done. It's not coming back. It's over. So that's just how it is. The Muertes are done with the foolishness. They're done with it. It's done. you were supposed to prepare the next generation. You were supposed to do your work to prepare the next generation to come in. I'm going to see, there's going to be more, you know, there's going to be impotence, impotence. Impotence, you know, this may be TMI, but the semen not gonna work. The semen not gonna work. The semen not gonna work, child. It's not gonna work. It's gonna be impotence. Impotence. Physical impotence, mental impotence. It's just all of it is gonna start being a breakdown. These are the consequences. These are the consequences for not doing what you were supposed to come back to do. These are the consequences. So that's what the Muertes have to say about that. The last two cards are judgment and fear. Judgment and fear. This is the energy right now of the new moon. A lot of people are there's a lot of fear of like retaliation. There's a lot of fear around what can happen after, as all this judgment against certain groups of people are coming out. But the judgment is needed. Like the accusations that are backed up with evidence, and some that don't have physical evidence but are that have some level of inner knowing or claircognizance. Like that's part of the exposure and the information that people have around these situations. You know, I mean, I'm just hearing it's par for the course. It's par for the course. This is part of it. This is part of the disentanglement, like that needs to happen. This is part of the disentanglement of the end of patriarchy. It is, you know, is folks addressing and expressing their judgments around, and the truthful judgment, like the accurate judgment around these men and what they've been doing. And not even just around these men, but around the horrors of what folks have been doing to support these men, to support them. All right. So these cards, judgment and fear, this is tied to these are tied to the children, y'all. Oh Lord. We have been instilling fear, and it's not even just the kids. It's like it's specifically victims of violence. And this is a very sensitive reading. I'm gonna make sure to put some, you know, trigger warning in this space, because this is a very triggering time. But the energy is like, you know, these, geez, um, as this exposure continues, as the exposure continues, you're gonna see there's just gonna be a lot of, this is a lot of energetic fighting. Like, this is a lot of fighting between um the fear. It's like it's a tussle. This is a fight. This is a fight. That's what Spirit's telling me and showing me. Within this specific timeline, it's going to continue to be fights, internal fights. This is about the internal fight between the fear, the fear of staying, of holding everything in, all of the pain and the suffering and the violence that victims have experienced and have gone through, and have tried to, in their own ways, to take shelter in their own mind and in their own bodies, but they are trapped. They are scared. They are frightened. They are horribly, horribly frightened. And they are scared of not only of releasing themselves from all that has happened in these individual experiences. Some of them have snowballed. Those who are in, domestic violence situations, in financially violent situations, sexually violent situations, those who have been manipulated and deceived consistently, those who have, lived and slept alongside their rapist, slept alongside a narcissist, slept alongside a molester, family members, people who they called friends, people who they called kin, close members. There's going to be a lot of internal fighting. I'm seeing a lot of gut issues too. A lot of gut issues, a lot of gut issues around it. Like, Spirit's like, get the Pepto-Bismol. Like, there's a lot of gut issues around it, because it's almost like the stomach is not able to hold it. The stomach is not able to hold that energy that they've been swallowing, they've been taking in, they've been ingesting, right? Energetically, spiritually, that they've been holding and ingesting in their bodies for a really long time. The fear of speaking out, the fear of further harm, danger, loss of their lives, loss of their children's lives. You're seeing that, and you're seeing also the fight between that and the judgment that they feel, as though it's the perception, they feel that they are going to be judged harshly. They feel, it's reminding me of it's reminding me of it's reminding me of the woman who came out, or the woman, and I'm using plural, excuse me, the woman who came out against Cesar Chavez. It's reminding me of the woman who all of the women who came out against Cesar Chavez, and the horrific and despicable things that he did to these women when they were teenagers, children, the way that they had to hide, the way that their bodies have been reeked, their gut health has been deteriorating over the fear of not speaking out, the fears of not speaking out. We're going to be seeing a lot of more active gut health concerns, gut health issues. Impotence is just one of the ways to fight back is to create impotence, to create impotence, to create to create impotence. But there's a lot of there's a fight, there's an internal fight that is causing there's an internal fight that's causing a lot of strangulation of the fear of speaking out, the fear, but also holding on to the words that people have said, the judgment that people have said. It's feeding into the fear. It's feeding into the fear of a lot of victims of not speaking out, of not going to someone, a fear of speaking up, a fear of going to someone, a fear of fighting back. And so I'm hearing practitioners in the space, organizations in the space, coalitions, support groups, empowerment groups, nonprofit orgs, like if you are rooted in justice work, if you are rooted in addressing a lot of these situations where women and children and our LGBTQ plus folk, our queer folk, are being harmed and in harmful and dangerous situations and are afraid to speak. I'm seeing just different scenarios of harm, and it's time for warriors to start standing up, for warriors to start standing up. So maybe it may be good to do some to call on warrior spirits at this time for protection. It's time to call on some warrior spirits for protection. It's time to call on angels that know how to soothe, lessen, and remove fear. The fear to talk, to speak up. I'm seeing a lot of children. A lot of children are going to be talking more. Give them parents, older siblings, community members, family members, give children the space to say what they need to say. Give children the platform to say what they need to say the truth. There are kids, there are children, there are our young folk, they are not afraid. The young folk are not afraid. Not even just an or, excuse me, let me take that back. And some of them are afraid, but are going to be moving out of that energy. They're going, folks are going to be visiting them. The kids. The folks are going to be visiting the children. The ancestors are going to be visiting the children to help them, to soothe them, to swallow some of that fear, to help them to remove some of that fear from these kids who have also witnessed and experienced violence and harm at the hands of men. They are going to start speaking out, and I urge and I encourage us adults who have the wherewithal and the understanding and the softness. Give these kids a space to land, to be able to speak and speak out and speak their truth, and to speak on what they are seeing and what they're witnessing. A lot of them are going to start, and it's not just going to be them talking about it. They may be singing about it, they may be rapping about it, they may be they're using art. Look at their photos. If they oh, I want to use your camera, mommy, you know, look at what the art that they are producing. Even young kids, all of them. If you're giving them a coloring book, if you're giving them something to just draw, look at what they're drawing. See what they are they are creating at this time, because the kids have a lot of things to say. The children have a lot of things to say about what is happening, what we're seeing happening right now in this timeline around violent men, and the socialization of men to be violent and to not look at women, at children, at our queer folk as human beings. So look to the children. The children have things to say about it. Listen to them, sit with them, play, create that relationship with them. This may be also a time for some inner child work. For those of us who have memories of, have childhood memories of seeing or witnessing and experiencing some level of violence or abuse in our home, and oftentimes tried to hide, or to escape, or to find ways to leave. It's time to return to states of play. The coloring book, the musical instruments, the watching your favorite TV shows as a child, of just reminding yourself to let loose and to be open again. That play is for your healing. This was the other message that came through from my mamas. They came through and said, play is for your healing. It's a time to concentrate on your imagination. A lot of us saw the monsters and experienced the monsters right next to us, growing up right next to us, and we found ways to imagine ourselves out of it. And this doesn't necessarily tie to, and sometimes it's not even just connected to men, but also the folks standing next to men, the women standing next to men who also agreed to hide, who also agreed to hide and to evade responsibility, and to support and to uphold the violence, and not in a way in which they were, yes, victims themselves, but in a way in which they felt like they had a very distorted view and perception of family, of community, without accountability. So start to rebuild your connection with play and with the heart. This is soul work. This is heart work. This is that right now. And so that is what the energy is calling for in this new moon. Making sure that, you know, a lot of times we're seeing people who are reverting back to doing things in relation to their inner child, that we're not doing this as a type of performance, that this is not for the finesse, this is not for a look, but this is about our genuine connection with play, with imagination, with our heart. that is part of our healing work. And it very much is part of our helping us in shielding, in removing and helping us to be in our own bubbles, our own portals, even just for a little while, to remember, to play, to have joy, in the midst of such sorrow and violence and harm that we've had to see and we've had to witness and experience. So for this new moon, you know, I thank the spirits, I thank the guides, I thank the messages that have come through for this very, very difficult new moon message, but one that was needed to come through. Whoever comes across this video at the time that they need to hear it, please be gentle with yourself. Please be soft with yourself. These are difficult messages that I had to relay, but this is what Spirit wanted me to share at this time. So, and for all of the women and kids and queer folk who have experienced, all of us who have had to go through these things, man, elevation to our spirit, elevation for our healing, our well-being, love. May love continue to generate and encompass us. May healing continue to reach us. May we have support. May we have community. May we be surrounded in love and in care for our well-being, for our highest selves. And maybe we receive the protection that we've been praying for and pleading and asking for. And may we have the space to grieve the loss, grieve what we've experienced. That's all I have for now, y'all. I'm not even gonna say please. I don't even want to do my little please be sure to like, share, child. If this resonated with you, you know, please, yeah, you can like, share, or just sit with it. You know, maybe this energy is just a time to just sit with it, just to sit with what's coming up. All right, it's your girl Nisi here with Wild Pear Medium. All right, and I hope to catch y'all at another time. All right, take care.